Good day, everyone. This is teacher Jerry Java again for English with Jerry Java. Today, our topic will be about prep or PREP. There are really times when we need to speak in public, and of course, our minds will come crashing, then we want to be able to speak, especially when that has to do with extemporaneous public speaking or when you are joining a impromptu speech contest or anything that has to do with you sharing your ideas in public like Q&A in a beauty pageant or even in a job interview or even a simple debate or a simple answering of questions in oral recitations in classes. So you need to prep your speech. Now, what is prep? Prep is actually a framework, it's a technique, it's a method that is suggested by and recommended by the Toastmasters International. P, that stands for point or your position. R, reason. E is for example or elaboration, explanation, or experience. Then P is point. You're going to go back, you're going to restate your point. You have to say again your point or position. Now let's get to discuss or talk each letter more specifically. Let's start with the P, the first P. P is point. You're going to state or say your point of view, your perspective, your idea, your claim, your issue. What is your stand? In a short speech, it's best to focus on just one point or one central theme so that you don't lose your audience. In a longer speech, use a series of prep to make different points and support them. Here's an example. Impromptu speaking is an extremely valuable skill to have. This is your point. Yeah, position is that is when you're going to give your or state your idea or your claim or your issue, your position. Do you agree or do you disagree? So you use these phrases or these language or expressions such as I think or I believe. Now for reason, the R is for reason. Reasons for your points of view, reason for your idea, for your claim, or for your issue, for your position, for your stand. Why do you say so? So a reason says why you think that. Give reasons to explain why your point is true. Support or back up your case with evidence from research, facts, data, statistics, because this will add credibility to your case. Now, here's our example as continuation to my my point earlier. Being able to speak easily in public is empowering. Yeah, the reason this is where you give farther or more details or extra information, the facts, to support your idea. Usually you would start with the word because you are explaining why. E is for example. This is when you are going to prove it, explain, elaborate, share your examples, share your experience, explain how you reached this point of view. Evidence and examples show how you something to be true, how something is true, and it brings humanity and connection to your point and reasons. This will also, when you share your experience, this will or your experience, this will connect, this will let you relate to your audience. Example here, I remember how often I put myself out there in impromptu situations, not because I wanted to, but because I had to for work. This gave me courage and confidence, and now I don't worry about being eloquent. I trust myself and I am more willing to take risks and to learn how to deal with an audience. Yeah, the evidence. Here is where you provide firm, Strong examples that everyone can relate to. Use phrases such as, for example, or for instance, or such as. Now, P, the last P, the second of the two P's, point. You're going to restate your point. You say again your stand, but of course using another different words. Conclude it, restate your point of view. Go back to your introduction. Go back to your first sentence. Conclude by showing how your position is right, both scientifically, practically, etc., in spite of the arguments against it, and restate your argument because this helps your audience remember it. Remember to save the best for last. The last thing you say will stick to the minds and even the hearts of the audience, to your listeners. So here's the example how I ended it. When a person is empowered to speak for themselves and others, they are stronger, more versatile, and more resilient. Yeah, position. This is where you restate your original idea to make sure everyone understands it. Start with a statement such as, so, as I said, or that's a call to action. Again, to prep your answers, P is for point, R is for reason, E is for example, and P, restate your point. Here are other example. Malta is a wonderful holiday destination. It is a country drenched in history and offers an abundance of activities for travelers. Churches date back to St. Paul's era, catacombs and air raid shelters date back to the Second World War. Bastions date back to St. John's Knights. You could dive into one of the many wrecks or take a dip in one of the many beautiful inlets and bays. Of course, these are just some of the things Malta has to offer. It is a wonderful holiday destination. Now here's another example about saying giving a speech to somebody, to a coworker, to a colleague who is going out, who is transferring. Steph's departure is going to be a big loss for our organization, and we will miss her tremendously. Steph hasn't only been a co-worker, she has also been a friend and a sister to all of us. I speak for everyone when I say that we could always count on her to be there for any of us. In addition to that, Steph is a very talented web designer, partner relations coordinator, and office manager. Our current beautiful website was Steph's work. She was responsible for everything on the site, including the content. Even though it was a very difficult task, she worked with a great attitude and collaborated with all of us to get our ideas so that she could create a website that we would all love. Since creating the site, we have increased our number of website visitors and also the number of people donating to KAF. Steph has also done a fantastic job of building relationships with our partners that have resulted in us ministering to them and them generously giving to support our mission. In addition to all these, she has been great at managing the office and keeping everything really organized. These are just a few reasons why Steph's departure is going to be a big loss for our organization, and we are going to miss her tremendously. That's it in prepping your speech. That's it about prep or PREP. Point, reason, example, point. Bye bye bye.